Hello and welcome to another episode of Brettcast Gaming Talk. So I have done the video, on some personal stories about my younger self with game experiences like Monster Hunter, Pokemon, and The Legend of Zelda. I wanted to do a video about the various consoles and handhelds that I had growing up. It's probably not much compared to others, but it's what I had. Also, keep in mind that it's hard for me to remember small details from like 10 years ago, so bear with me. Let's keep this categorized here and start with handhelds. So, the first one I remember is having the Game Boy, the one that didn't have a backlight and took AAA batteries to run. I don't really remember any of the games I had for it. The next one I remember having is a blue Game Boy Advance SP. As in my other video, I remember having Pokemon Emerald, but also Lego Star Wars and some Beyblade game that for a long time I couldn't trade into GameStop, which is actually, now that I think about it, that was before GameStop moved into my town. And then when they did, it was like, oh my god, I could trade in games? What? But anyway, it was a game that I couldn't trade into GameStop because it wasn't in their system. From there, I had the DS Lite. Well, I went through a few since I would get mad and break them. Games I remember are New Super Mario Bros., Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, which holds a special place because when I got my first DS Lite at Christmas, it was the first game I got, and Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, which was much later. I did have a DSi because we got one from my mom for like her birthday at one point, but eventually she stopped playing it because she only ever played Professor Layton, and she also had Bejeweled 3. When she gave it to me, I didn't bother with Professor Layton. Didn't have money for new games, so I basically just played the hell out of Bejeweled 3, so much that I reached like level 150 in the Zen mode. It was such a relaxing game though. So in there was also the PSP 3000 that I bought for my brother for like $20. Games I remember playing are Medal of Honor Heroes, which I loved a lot, even more than its sequel. Wipeout Pure and Wipeout Pulse, two really cool sci-fi racing games. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, and probably more that I just can't remember right now. Next one is recent, being the 2DS that I accidentally broke playing Pokemon Y. It was a good handheld that I was stupid enough to break. And to top it all off, my current handheld, the Nintendo 3DS XL. Mine is the Pokemon XY edition, and I love it to pieces. Not broken pieces. No fucking way am I gonna break this thing. I will wrap it in bubble wrap and blankets if I have to. Yeah. So, games I own and I'm playing on my 3DS XL are Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, Animal Crossing New Leaf, and Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. Also, the original Super Mario Bros. Game on Virtual Console. Games that I had but traded in are Mario Kart 7 and New Super Mario Bros. 2. And there was one more. Super Mario 3D Land. That was one. My 2DS had some downloaded games that I only really played one of and enjoyed. And that was Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. But it did also have like that Super Mario Maker. Alright, now we're gonna go to the flip side and talk about consoles. So the first console I had was a PS2. My mom, brother, and I went to Meyer and got the PS2 with Guitar Hero Aerosmith. There was a lot of fucking games that I played on that, so some memorable ones are Guitar Hero Aerosmith, because it was the first Guitar Hero game I played and owned. Ratchet and Clank, I don't remember which one it is. It was a big one, though, because I played that game so much. I loved it a lot. Star Wars The Force Unleashed, since it was the first game that my brother and I pre-ordered because of a Stormtrooper action figure that you got with the game. And that game was fucking awesome. Several of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games that were given to me for free from my neighbor, and those games were amazing. I can't forget playing my first sports game, which was Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2006, which was another amazing game, and that's all I can really remember right now. So next we upgraded to a PS3, and this is the console that we had the longest. I remember it was at Christmas that my brother and I got the PS3, and it was a bundle that came with 2 games, and I remember my mom saying that she had to switch out one of the games because it was God of War, and I was not allowed to play anything over a T rating at a certain point in time. So the PS3 came with Little Big Planet 2 or 3, I can't remember, and Lego Harry Potter Years 5 through 7. So memorable games from my early PS3 days are Lego Harry Potter Years 5 through 7, Little Big Planet, a couple Ratchet and Clank games, not sure which, Battlefield, Bad Company, and a lot more. But from my later years, when I was able to just play any game that I wanted, I remember Killzone, Lego Star Wars 3, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Half-Life 2, and other games in general. I remember our Guitar Hero 3, Guitar Hero World Tour, Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero Warriors Rock, Uncharted 2 and 3, which are a hell of a lot better than the first, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, which I still play on my PC, because I fucking love Skyrim a lot better than Oblivion, which I did play, but I didn't like it. Assassin's Creed 2, which in my opinion is the only Assassin's Creed game that exists and is good. Infamous and Infamous 2. Resistance 3, which somehow manages to be a lot better than the first 2 games, because Resistance 3 was the one I actually beat. Fallout 3, which is the first time I played a Fallout game and I loved it. Red Dead Redemption, which I was glad was good because I tried playing Grand Theft Auto 4 and didn't like it. Army of Two, The 40th Day, and The Devil's Cartel, which were really fun third-person shooters. Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, which, like the first one, was amazing. Far Cry 2, which was my first Far Cry game, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Can't forget that the PS3 was where I first played Transformers War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron when it came out. And you know that I still play the fuck out of those games, and there's plenty more. But this is turning into me just listing games that I've played on PS3, and we still have one more console to go. So from there, when I was in my later teens in high school, my brother and I decided to trade our PS3, combined our trade of all of our games, and get a Xbox 360. This is when he started to play on PC more, and he even got himself his own PS3 at one point, but all I had was whatever console we had. So I agreed because I'd been wanting to play on an Xbox 360 that was not just my friends, and that's what we did. The only games that he got were Forza 4, Forza Horizon 3. Me, well, when I played the Xbox 360 with my friends, there's one game I loved, and that's Halo. So I went and got Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, and Halo 4, because that's what I wanted. I didn't get those all at once, but over a few weeks, and just so I had something different to play, I also got Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and Battlefield Hardline. And I did end up playing Forza 4, even though I never really liked racing games, but I found that it was easy to play, and it wasn't terribly hard. So that's all the consoles and handhelds that I had, because after I graduated in high school, I built a PC and began PC gaming, and I just upgraded my PC, so that's what I do along with playing games on my 3DS XL, which is also nice because a lot of games I play on my 3DS XL, my girlfriend plays as well, so that's something we can do together. I had this weird thing where there was a period after I got into PC gaming that I got rid of my DS Lite and all games traded in for Steam gift cards, and so it was like a period of no handhelds at all. I had what I called a dislike towards Nintendo for the longest time, because when I was younger I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't afford first-party Nintendo games, so I went through a lot of third-party DS games that most of them were fucking awful, It is the reason why I think Call of Duty doesn't belong on the DS. My PSP days, I remember having some movies on UMD discs that were fantastic movies, like Matrix, Ghost Rider, and the first 3 Resident Evil movies, to name a few. Those were pretty awesome. Well, that's all I have to say, so if you want to ask me something from all this, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.